What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As you all can see, we're talking about Drake and UMG and why this whole thing is dumb. All right. So this is not Drake you see here. This is the lovely Knox Hill, content creator, also independent hip hop rap artist. Some of his music I've actually reacted to on my second channel, Tommy G Raw and Real, and he gives a breakdown of the updates of this lawsuit that Drake's punk ass. I mean, he's basically crying about, a diss track here. That's what we've come to with this whole thing. That's how I feel about it. It's my thoughts and opinions. You all let me know how you think, but this whole case is just straight up buffoonery. So I want to check out the video, the most recent update on this lawsuit that Knox Hill actually goes over. Shout out to him. Make sure you guys check out his great content. He has 1.58 million subs. Thank God for it. His music is really good, and I've been reacted and enjoyed his music as well as his content. He has some of the best breakdowns. My favorite reactor is Quality, of course. Shout out to Quality Reacts, but Knox Hill, Cliff Beats, Crip, Screwface. There are a few reactors out there. Michelle Show that I have grown to, support and enjoy over my 4 years here on this platform. And this lawsuit with Drake's dumbass and just the restrictions that YouTube keep putting in place makes it so difficult to react to music now. Because I'm going to be honest, I have a regular job during the day, and until my channels blow up and I can do this full time, I don't have time to edit videos. I don't have time to have lengthy videos, reaction videos, anything like that, especially if it's going to turn around and get blocked or cause a strike on my channel, and then I lose my channel overall, and no one sees the reaction video either way. So it has forced a lot of music reactors to have to change course and create, just original content talking about other topics. Or if you're going to talk about the music, makes it harder for you to play the music and react and give your feedback on it. So that's one of the things I enjoy about a lot of the content creators like Knox Hill that give fantastic breakdowns on the songs, the artists, the musicality, the lyrics, the entendres on top of entendres on top of entendres, stacks on stacks on stacks, racks on racks on racks. So it's just enjoyable to be able to, especially in artists themselves, enjoy other content creators, other artists, other songs, and other music, and be proficient in being able to give like fantastic breakdown of bars and lyrics. So we're gonna check out this video. I seen part of it where he was reading, I think, the transcript from the latest of this court case with this lawsuit. Oh, I'm so sick of Drake. I'm just sick of him. Old Canada, when are you gonna reclaim your property? Get his ass out of here. Take all his sycophants with you. All right, so let's get to this. We're gonna check out Knox Hill, and then I'm gonna give some feedback and commentary. Let's go.
Policy. Very interesting dialogue that's being shared and passed around for someone who was in the courtroom listening to the arguments made by Drake's legal team, made by UMG's legal team. Obviously, at this point in time, if you don't know the history on the channel, everything that's been going on, we definitely don't have a horse in this race on either side. But the one thing that we do have a horse in the race for is obviously being interested in the implications of this case in relation to freedom of speech, in relation to what you can or can't say in a rap battle, and beyond that. There's so many massive implications on artists, on artistic expression, on how rap battles are viewed and handled, on defining what truly is defamation, what isn't defamation within lyricism. So let's dive into a little bit of this and talk about it right now. Shout out to Inner City Press for this. Now, he's the one who was tweeting all this out while it was going on in the courtroom. I've seen this making the rounds on socials. Judge Vargas, you seem to say a diss track can never be defamatory, but NY law says the form is not dispositive, meaning that dispositive will just settle it, dispel legally what's going on, settle all disputes, settle all controversy, right? Very definitive. UMG, look at the shock jock cases. Not the same thing, says the judge. Perhaps the court needs more info and cannot dismiss. Very interesting right there, because this is what lawyers do. They find previous cases that establish precedent, right?
Right.
Past rulings that they
Yep.
think are similar to their case, that are similar to their arguments that have already been
Yep.
weighed in on legally, that they can use to support their argument and bolster them. So in this case, UMG was trying to establish precedent. And the judge very quickly went, no, there's no precedent here because perhaps we need to look at this one differently. I'm not relating it to that case. Very interesting. UMG lawyer, Drake opened the door in the third person. See that when wow, did he, spell check is a thing, but apparently not here. So that when Kendrick Lamar says, heard you like him, you, there is no surprise. Hang on, let me translate. In the third person, so that when Kendrick Lamar says, heard you like him young, there is no surprise. Vargas, Mr. Lamar suggests there are other secrets he has yet to reveal. It's ambiguous. UMG lawyer, these are questions of law. The court can dismiss. Judge, what are certified PDF file? Well, there's no going around the houses anymore. We're being very direct with it. UMG lawyer, it's a play on Certified Lover Boy, aka Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. So that's the case right there that UMG is making, right? This is all ambiguous.
So that's one of the things that, you know, when it comes to these cases in court, you guys, this might be a federal lawsuit, but it's still a civil proceeding. So the burden to meet in this is a preponderance of the evidence. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. We're not talking about a criminal matter here. So with the burden here to meet being a preponderance of the evidence, you know, you basically just saying, is it more likely than not that the, you know, petitioner has a case and can meet that burden? And if the defendant is, you know, found liable for damages to the extent where, you know, you can prove you've been harmed. But the thing is with this is all over a battle rap beef or some sort of rap beef, right? And then Drake alleging that, you know, well, not even he's not suing Kendrick Lamar here. Let's remember that. He's suing UMG, trying to say, you know, you all allowed Kendrick Lamar's song to get out to this point where it put me in danger, sort of thing, right? Now, he has to prove that it was intentional for UMG to allow someone to go to Drake's house, put his life in danger because of Kendrick Lamar's song. That is something he would have to prove with a preponderance of the evidence that UMG is responsible and should be held legally liable for the lyrics in Kendrick Lamar's song that went global and super viral, and that UMG intentionally allowed that to occur for the purposes of bringing harm and danger to Drake's life and livelihood that led directly to someone driving past his house. He has to prove that there's some legal liability from UMG. Who knew that Kendrick Lamar's song was going to blow up like this, right? But is it the fault of UMG that someone decided to, if allegedly, listen to Kendrick Lamar's song and say, well, you know what? I don't like Drake. I'm going to go out by his house and do XYZ. You have to prove that they intentionally, like this was the intent behind allowing this song to go super viral just to bring harm on Drake's life and livelihood, or that it is directly related to that. And somehow UMG is responsible for it, as if they furthered that notion that, yes, we sat here and allowed this song to go super viral so that Kendrick Lamar's diss track against you could lead to someone coming to your house. Yeah, because we all predicted that would happen. Like, no, he has to prove that. And so far, it's as if he's trying to get discovery from UMG to help prove it when he should already have the evidence to show that. And it's getting messy because now it's involving you content creators and other YouTubers that listen to the song, that reacted to it, that are being caught up in the melee, and now almost being penalized for simply reacting to the song. It's viral because it was a good song, not because the purpose of the song was to just put Drake's life in danger. It's viral because it's a good diss track. It was just good. It was well thought out, well done. The music video was awesome. It was just a good song. That's it. and it's supposed to Drake being creative and clapping back. He went and sued. Now, what kind of precedence does that set? But what the judge is saying here, all right, does the average person know that when he put in the lyrics certified PDF that it was literally like the average person would assume that Kendrick Lamar is insinuating that Drake is a certified PDF, as opposed to it being a double, triple entendre and has various meanings, one of which is referring to an album. Is that what the average reasonable person would assume? So that's a vital question the judge is asking here, because that would go to whether or not, you know, the intent of him being called a certified PDFer was done to actually send a message that he's a certified PDF and not necessarily talking about an album. But even if you're not a huge hip hop rap fan, the average person would just take that diss track for what it is, a diss track. You know, is it defamatory because somebody pulled up on Drake's house? Had that not happened, would we be here? Would we be at this point where we're talking about a lawsuit that's almost stifling free speech and killing the aspect of diss tracks in rap and hip hop? You know, where a lot of things are said just to trigger someone. It's not, I don't think it's ever said to actually be a fundamental fact. I think the purpose of diss tracks is I'm trying to get underneath this person's skin and hopefully keep that back and forth going, because that's just part of the hip hop history culture in music. So why didn't Drake just clap back? And he has songs where he's made allegations against Kendrick Lamar that weren't true. But Kendrick Lamar did not run to a court of law talking about he made me feel unsafe with that diss track, so I'm suing UMG for all the money. Are you kidding? Now, I don't like the BS move that UMG is trying to make here, where they're trying to buy out multiple platforms and truly render, you know, music reactors and independent artists obsolete. You're talking about a platform where independent artists like Knox Hill promotes their music, their brand. This is their source of income. And UMG talking about they're finna buy out YouTube and Instagram and all these platforms. And unless you have permission from UMG to react to songs, your channel is going to get your video is going to get taken down. And if you get 3 strikes, your channel is gone bye-bye. All that work for nothing. Like, they're trying to monopolize music and free speech on social media platforms pertaining to music. Like, it's so stupid. But it's still a horrible, you know, precedent that Drake trying to set here, because he's just showing the world that he's a wuss and he can't handle a diss track. Despite the fact that he has made diss tracks making baseless allegations, if we want to really go there, against other artists. It's so stupid. It's hypocritical. Canada, please take Drake back. We'll give him back. As a matter of fact, we'll throw in some people for free. You can have all his sycophants. We won't even ask for him back. Oh my God. Ugh. All right, let's keep going.
This isn't as direct as Drake's team is trying to paint it out that they're trying to make it be, right? You have to understand the context of this. This is all within the context of a rap battle. This is all within the context of a art form that uses wordplay, that uses tongue-in-cheek, that uses satire, that uses hyperbole and exaggeration, right? There's always layers to it. So for them, we're pointing out the certified lover boy from Drake. Not he's like officially certified, this is what he is. No, UMG is saying you have to look at the context in relation to how Kendrick set up the lyricism of the diss. Interesting. Judge, but would the ordinary listener know the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy? There it is. UMG lawyer, the context is all the rumors about Drake and young females. And that's a really telling response, I think, too, from the judge. Would the ordinary listener? Because that's what this case will come down to, right? In terms of interpretation, in terms of Judge Vargas's decision to move forward or not, because she's going to look at the scope of this, not just from how the fans have perceived it, how the ordinary listener here's Not Like Us, because Not Like Us has had just a massive impact culturally. It's done ridiculous numbers. It's been heard on such a massive scale. Right. And it's really broken outside of the norms of hip hop into fans of other genres, into the casual, ordinary listener. And that's the most important thing with this.
And who knew that was going to happen, right? I mean, and you know, some people could have predicted this is going to be a huge viral song. The actual beef itself was already, you know, more viral than other normal rap beefs, because you're talking about two of the biggest artists on the same label at that, Kendrick Lamar and Drake. So you have way more people tuning into their rap beef in general because of the artists. And I think most people can hear both artists, catalog and kind of predict if it came down to a rap battle or rap beef in general. Kendrick Lamar more than likely would have won, which he did. But who knew that the backlash of this would be Drake getting a pissy attitude and suing somebody? Because this doesn't happen in hip hop in rap music. It doesn't happen when a rap beef is going on. You don't see rap artists going to court suing over some lyrics. Most people would have not taken that to heart to say, oh, he really is a certified PDF. Is he on the registry? Is he a registered offender? Like, I don't think the average person even thought that hard about it. They heard the lyric. Oh, that's this. But yet, Drake did the same thing. This is, I mean, if nothing else, this is definitely hypocritical on steroids. And as opposed to him clapping back, he went to court. I don't think he's the only alleged rapper, hip hop artist, or whatever Drake is now, that has had someone roll up on his house. But you got to link all this back to some sort of legal liability to UMG because of Kendrick Lamar's song. Who knew that it was going to be this super viral? Oh man, Kendrick Lamar fans really knew he was going to win, but to this level, I think they just kind of caught all of us off guard. But it's well worth it. It's a good song. Drake just needs to grow up and get the hell over it and leave hip hop and rap alone, and leave the rest of us out of his nonsense. And if it comes down to like safety and security measures in place, I don't think he's not the only rapper hip hop artist that has had, some situations come about where they had to take extra safety precautions. Most of them do. So if you go through this whole motion and the judge decides to let this proceed forward, now you're opening up Pandora's box to every hip hop artist who's mad about a damn diss track, taking the other artists and YouTubers and reactors to court because they feel some type of way. It's almost like an abuse of the courts. I just literally feel like this is just a vile abuse of tax dollars and the judicial system on something where he could have literally just made another diss track or went home and up. Ugh.
Defamation case. It will be looked at as, how has the ordinary listener interpreted this? Does the ordinary listener listen to Not Like Us and understand the context of it being within a battle? Understand the context that, there's going to be some hyperbole. There's going to be insults. There's going to be tearing down. Or does the ordinary listener listen to Not Like Us and take it 100% seriously? Take it as factual evidence? Because if that's the case, then obviously it's going to be ruled in Drake's favor. So that will be one of the central themes and thesis revolving around this if this case proceeds. And to me, from what I've seen in the chatter, but we'll keep reading into this, it looks like it will probably keep going. Let's see. UMG lawyer, we seek dismissal for Drake having used the information and belief form of pleading, just like we highlighted. Judge, Mr. Gottlieb for Drake. Gottlieb, on a Rule 12 motion, the question is whether a listener could have thought facts were being conveyed. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Is this something the listener thinks is truthful?
The answer is no.
Evidence, not subjective interpretation and viewing it from an art form, viewing it from like it's...
No, I didn't go to no sex registry offenders list and try to see if Drake was on it. No. That, to me, you're saying the average listener could perceive that. No, because we could perceive a lot of things in rap music, but the average listener, even if you're not a true hip hop rap artist fan or a fan of either artist, we don't take the rap beef seriously. We just don't. And on average, people just go out and go past somebody's house because a diss track said you're a registered PDFer, and it could have so many meanings to it. That's what we're, as the listeners, thinking about. We're not thinking about the literal context of certified PDFer. Oh, let me check the sex registry offender list, see if he's on. No, we don't take time to do any of that. We'll just wait for him to drop a diss track and clap back. That's it. That's what the average user, the average listener is waiting for. Drake to respond in a rap song, not take somebody to court. So the answer is no, Judge. We do not. We do not take that literal at all. Not a reasonable, sane person in their right frame of mind does not take that to heart, to where we actually believe that this is strictly talking about him being a registered PDF. No, nope.
An evidential delivery of a valid piece of information. Drake's lawyer Gottlieb, they want your honor to weigh 17 articles, but the time to weigh evidence is not at this stage. Basically, we need to move forward with this so you can make a true, well-informed decision. Judge, I can take judicial notice. The lyrics are what they are. The clapbacks from this judge at both sides right now. I do not want to be in a rap battle with Judge Vargas. Gottlieb, UMG made this song more culturally ubiquitous than any other. 9 billion streams. Played at a bar mitzvah. Judge Vargas, an interesting bar mitzvah that would play this song. Judge Vargas seems pretty switched on to the context and everything that's going on. We have we've got a well-informed judge who is very quick off the top too.
What does that bar mitzvah have to do with the average listener assuming or believing that somehow Drake is literally a certified PDF? Like, seriously, come on now,
Judge. Then there's the use of the AI voice of Tupac. Drake's lawyer Gottlieb, I'm not convinced of the relevance. Judge, shouldn't I view the entire rap battle?
Right.
Gottlieb, this was unique. Wow, that's another really big point, right? That if the judge is already seeing it from that lens, because this is one of UMG's big responses. Well, your client Drake wants to point the finger at us and point the finger at Kendrick Lamar for saying these things, but it's completely ignoring the context because Drake has also said and defamed Kendrick Lamar's character. He's also insulted him. He's willingly participated in this rap battle. Why his family matters not being brought up. Talking about Kendrick abusing Whitney. Talking about the rumors. Talking about one of Kendrick's kids not being his. You know, where's the conversation around that? Hey, Pot, I'm Kettle. How are you? So it's very interesting that Judge Vargas is also going, maybe I should look at the rap battle in its entirety, right? Not just look at solely Not Like Us through this closed lens. I need to understand the full context of what's going on, the insults that are being thrown back and forth, because if the judge wants to do that.
Judge Vargas, dear Judge Vargas, you'll be at this all day. Can we please get back to the court of law, taking matters seriously on the finding of fact, law, and evidence, please, and not sit here and try to reinterpret rap music? Can we not make a huge mockery of the court right now, or allow Drake to do that? Because that's exactly what he's doing. He's abusing the courts to cry about a diss track. You'll be at this all day, Judge Vargas. Please hear me when I say unto you. You will be at this all day. You'll have to listen from now on to diss tracks between artists all day to try to get context on the lyrics to see if it was truly defamatory or not, when the average listener is not taking it that way. If anything, we're just trying to enjoy the song, the lyrics, the cadence, the beats, the visuals, the videos. We're just enjoying the music. We're not getting that deep into lyrics and whether it's defamatory or anything, because he did the same thing, Judge Vargas. Drake did the same thing. It's so ridiculous. This is not a court of hypocrisy. This is a court of law. And if that be the case, then you will have to get on both of the artists about this. And then Kendrick Lamar will be entitled to file a lawsuit against Drake. And then we'll be at that all day. At what point does this come to an end? Good Lord.
I think that definitely favors UMG's side of things. That favors UMG's defense. And this is why Gottlieb responded this was unique, because that's going to be Drake's lawyer side of things, right? They don't want the full context of the rap battle taken into consideration. Their argument that they're positioning is that, no, this was just a meteorite hitting Earth. This was a once in a blue moon cultural phenomenal moment. Right?
Who knew this song would blow up like this?
Anything else. And that's why it has to be treated as its own entity in terms of Not Like Us. And the reason that it blew up so much and became such a phenomenon is because of UMG's illicit practices, because of all the shady things and dealings that they did to artificially inflate streams, all the stuff that they did behind the scenes, right? That's the way that Drake's side of things has been positioning this and arguing this case. Judge, Kendrick Lamar didn't know he performed at the Super Bowl. Drake's lawyer Gottlieb, UMG republished the material with knowledge when it launched the Super Bowl campaign. There were 3 attacks on his home. So they're still using that. They're still using the attack.
Is that the liability that UMG bears because of Kendrick Lamar's song? What's worse about this is that Drake did not name Kendrick Lamar as a co-defendant. You're trying to say that UMG should bear the blame of Kendrick Lamar putting out a good diss track. Essentially, that's what this comes down to. And then you have to link it, like I said earlier, back to UMG's liability of how is it their fault that someone came past Drake's house 3 times over a song? They didn't plan on that happening. I highly doubt they told someone, yeah, drive past his house 3 times. Drake is also one of their signed artists here. You think they will really want to hurt their main 2 biggest artists that is bringing in all this revenue? It's so dumb. I don't understand why they have not dropped Drake by now. There are others. Go get other artists, UMG, and stop trying to purchase YouTube and put a lockdown on all music because Drake is mad. Who gives a shit? This is crazy as hell.
Trying to say that, there was physical violence as a result of Not Like Us, as a result of UMG's practices. Gottlieb, the cover art is Drake's home with sex offender location tags. Judge, didn't Drake say Kendrick Lamar is not the biological father of his child?
Exactly.
Gottlieb, the court doesn't have enough info on that. Wow.
No, you have a whole song.
But this also shows? This shows that the judge has heard all the diss tracks.
Yeah.
The judge has heard all the disses, right?
Judges watch YouTube as well. They watch YouTube as well. What are we talking about here? My godmother is a federal judge. Judge watch YouTube videos as well. They listen to music as well. They have families, they have children, they have people that even if they don't listen directly, that other people around them is going to listen. They're not daft or aloof to everything going on in the world. They're just tasked with the duty of interpreting and enforcing the laws. So this is insanity for this level of hypocrisy to keep being played out in court when Judge Vargas could be hearing any other hearing on any other matter that's more serious than this. You'll be at this all day, Judge Vargas. I promise you, it's going to become a real headache like it has for the rest of the planet.
Judge is not walking into this blunt. Judge is well informed of the context of everything. Now it makes sense why the judge said, shouldn't I just look at the entire battle? And hasn't Drake done all these things? So the judge fully understands this and will weigh this.
Yes,
the
why this should not proceed forward.
Or not. Very interesting, though. I think being well informed of the battle and showing that already, that's probably a good sign for UMG's side of things. Drake Gottlieb, 10% of streams are false. A popular podcaster allegedly used bots. There's also a stream farmer. There was whitelisting. There's us coming back into play. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I've had so much fun the past few weeks trying to battle that and deal with the long-term repercussions and fallouts of that. But anyways, I've already made a video on that. And that's...
Yeah, I mean, you got these YouTubers and content creators that are going to start suing the hell out of damn Drake and his attorney because you're hurting their bottom line on these platforms. And the backlash is coming towards the YouTubers over Drake's feelings. Who gives a shit again? Except his sycophants. Can y'all please take y'all asses back to Canada with him? Get the hell on. This is insanity. When does it come to an end, Judge Vargas? We can't do this forever. Please dismiss this damn thing and tell Drake to get the hell over it. And if he really wants to sit here and talk about, the defamation and all this stuff, perhaps he should just fuck up too. That means he's not going to ever do any more rap songs again. That's what we all should be saying. He's no longer going to be a part of the music community. That's it. Whatever he has out there that have been somehow immortalized is there, and that's it. But moving forward, he's no longer a rapper or hip hop artist because he can't handle words. Words are hard for him.
That's for tomorrow. Misdirected search results and payola. They're sticking with these arguments. Judge Vargas, what is the damage of bot streaming? Gottlieb, every other artist on the platform is injured. And that even includes myself because I'm on these same platforms, even though I'm independent. But that's the argument that they're making here, right? Is that essentially Kendrick Lamar getting the bot farming, getting the streaming. That injures not just Drake, that injures every single artist because he's taking away from listens from streams that could be allocated elsewhere. But if they're fake streams, that's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. Every other one.
Fake streams. They have to prove it. Can they prove that it's fake streams? Can they literally prove this now? I think if we should try a do-over. Let's pretend like no one's heard Not Like Us. Let's do a whole do-over. And just let people listen to it again and see how popular the song becomes on its own accord, on its face value. They got the streams, they got all the stuff. Let's do it over again. Let's go back and rewrite human history where everyone hears Drake's did songs for the first time, Kendrick Lamar's songs for the first time, and then determine from there on his own how popular those songs become. Maybe the judge needs to hear people, like Knox Hill and others that can do some real barology and break down the bars. Perhaps that's the idea, Judge Vargas. Maybe you should listen to the hip hop artists that are breaking down the songs and they're analyzing the lyrics. You have some people that are so creative and talented content creators like Knox Hill that can give a true breakdown, deep dive of these songs so that you can understand the meanings, the double entendre, all these things. And then you take it from a legal perspective, Judge Vargas, and then you determine whether or not there's some intentional defamation in this that would lead the reasonable person to believe that these statements being made are indeed factual or true of some sort, and would intentionally lead to somebody wanting to drive past one of the artists' home 3 times. Let's have a do-over, and then we can all determine how popular these songs become. And I guarantee you, hands down, Kendrick Lamar is Not Like a Song will still be popular all over again. In every reality here on earth, that song would still beat out all of Drake's catalog. Then, the fact that it became so popular so quickly and super viral is proof of that. You got a lot of artists and listeners and viewers that are not bots. They're real people that listen to that song and they went crazy over it because it was just that damn good. Perhaps the song was just that good. Maybe. I would like to think that. God.
How they detail further and lay out that argument in court, right? How they want to position it. Because there's a number of angles that they could take if they want to take that. This is taking away in a sense, whether it's, watering down the platform, whether it's ruining how the algorithm treats numbers and streaming numbers and where it allocates. And thus it's taking away from resources that could have gone to Drake, that could have gone to other artists. I mean, we talked about the illogical jumps, I think, from going, well, just because they stream Kendrick means that they didn't stream Drake. But it looks like they've kind of amended that a little bit because now they're not saying Drake, it got taken away from. They're saying it hurt all other artists, everyone. They cast a wider umbrella.
No, it didn't. This is the epiphany that I hope the judge has. Shout out to Knox here. You guys make sure you go check out and the video. He does a full breakdown. I noticed my video was a little lengthy, but I'm hitting 30 minutes. I didn't intend for it to be this long, but he made some great points, and the judge is truly trying to think that Judge Vargas is trying to think her way through this. But at the end of the day, it's still rap music overall. This is why you don't see hip hop artists and rap artists in court suing each other over rap beef, because this never ends. It's never going to end. And whatever imagination that, whatever alternate reality Drake is stuck in right now, he's bringing down all of hip hop and rap with him, along with YouTubers and content creators and reactors. And it's just trying to literally end careers here. And I don't think anyone should be okay with that. And stifle free speech. So people can't have an idea and say that Kendrick Lamar's song is better than any song you can put out, hands down, in any alternate universe that you exist in. Yeah, this is insane. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Knox Hill. Shout out to Quality Reacts. Shout out to all the great content creators and barologists that break down these bars and rap music and all this stuff and have covered this topic. It is very annoying. I hope Judge Vargas says, listen, I'm not wasting my time with this. There are real criminals out there that should be put on trial right now. We're doing this. God. All right. You guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the content here in the Lady Luck Club. I do have a second channel, Tommy G Raw and Real. Make sure you check that out and have some clips that are going to be posted up. Happy to be a Tommy G Clipper on my second channel. I appreciate all of you all for supporting me here. And hit the like button. Share the video. Comment below and let me know what you think. I'm sure many will disagree that, sits here and kisses Drake's ass. But at the end of the day, this has to come to an end. It has to come to an end. All right. You guys continue to take care of yourselves and each other. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.